Infolab TV a rencontré Ronald Meinardus qui dirige la Fondation Neumann en Afrique du Nord et au Proche-Orient. La fondation promeut la démocratie et les valeurs libérales, soutenant des leaders politiques et sociaux, ainsi que des organisations. Meinardus a présenté le travail de sa fondation et a donné sa perspective des conflits et des complexités de la région.
The Neumann Foundation is one of half a dozen German political institutes, foundations, which are operating internationally, and they represent political mainstreams which are represented in German Parliament. There's the Social Democrat Foundation, there's the Christian Democrat Foundation, there's a foundation which is ecological, and there's our foundation, which is the Liberal Foundation. And we have been around in the region for 30 to 40 years, depending on which countries we're working in. And our basic idea is to promote democracy and to promote liberal values. I mean, we have a strategy which is a small but politically dedicated institute. We have a strategy which is given in all parts of the world. Our mission, the stated mission, is to promote liberal democracy, or to promote democracy and liberalism, and we can discuss that, what that means. And therefore, this is not negotiable. If you are the director of Coca-Cola, you sell Coca-Cola in Shanghai and you sell it in Tel Aviv. It doesn't change. But of course, the environment is different from in the different parts of the world, and accordingly we have to adapt our policies and our programs, whether we are working in democratic societies, which is the exception actually, and therefore Israel is the exception, or whether we are working in societies which are termed non-free and non-democratic, where of course our challenges are completely different.
Le lourd passé entre la société allemande et le peuple juif, et par extension l'État d'Israël, rend le travail de la Fondation allemande des plus intéressants.
I would say the existence of our foundation is a result of German history, of a catastrophic part of German history, also for the German people, because they suffered dictatorship and they suffered lack of freedoms for many years, and as a consequence of this, German society decided after the catastrophe to set up institutes which would promote civic education, which would promote the promotion of liberal and democratic values. And so the foundations were created with public money, and they worked primarily in Germany. And then when Germany became economically more prosperous, we started to move out, and our foundation started this in 1965, opening our first office, by the way, in Tunis, in Tunisia, training journalists. Now, Israel, if it wouldn't be for the specificities of German-Israeli and German-Jewish relations, I doubt whether we would have an office in a place like Israel, because Israel is well termed a free society.
Le siège social de la Fondation de Meinardus est situé au Caire. Nous l'avons interrogé quant à la paix froide entre Israël et son voisin égyptien.
I mean, that there is peace is of course already an important element. That the peace is not anywhere entrenched in the population is an observation a foreigner can quickly make. If I compared with peaceful developments in my part of the world, in Europe, where we had old enmity which were overcome, Germany and France, for instance, now they're... So we're very far away from that. We're very far away from that. The people we associate with remain highly critical of the government regarding this. They remain highly critical of the Israeli politics in the region. And to be very honest, there is nobody I can think of, and I know, and we're talking to moderate Egyptians, we're not talking to Islamists, and we're not talking to people who we would call radicals, who would be outspoken in public and saying, I support this or I support that, relating now to relationships between Israel and Egypt. They might, in the depth of their hearts, agree that this is a good policy, but in the environment they are working in the public sphere, in the public opinion, there's no space at this time, at least I cannot recognize it, for Egyptians standing up and saying, I'm supporting the politics of Mr. Mubarak regarding open relations with Israel. No.
Considérant que la Fondation effectue un travail politique, quelle est sa position face à la montée de l'extrémisme islamiste?
We are working in many countries, in Arab countries, where we have Islamist forces. This is in Egypt, where we have the Muslim Brothers. This is in Palestine, where there's Hamas. This is in Lebanon, where we have Hezbollah. And of course, as a political foundation, it's a big challenge for us how to deal with it. The policy of the Federal Republic of Germany is very clear and very clearly stated. Do not have any interaction with these, and the diplomats and the government is clear on this. On the other hand, we as a non-governmental organization are free, more or less, to decide whether we want to have some form of interaction with them, of dialogue. I have my personal opinion. This is not shared by other colleagues in the region. I think my personal opinion is you should be careful with interacting with these individuals. First of all, they are politically our opponents. They are anti-liberal and anti-democratic. So, but on the other hand, sometimes historically it makes sense to talk to anti-liberals and anti-democrats. But this is a discussion which is ongoing. My personal opinion is you may, or this is how I take it. I had meetings with liberal politicians from Germany and Europe, and other Egyptian politicians, and among them were also Muslim brothers. But I would not approve of and not appreciate if we have exclusive one-on-one meetings, because there is always the danger that these are exploited propaganda-wise, and our intention should and could not be to give these groups a forum and a platform for promoting their case.
Concernant le travail politique de la Fondation en Syrie, Meinardus nous parle du rôle de Damas dans la région.
Syria, I don't have to tell you, is a key player in the region. And this is my private opinion. Without an inclusion of Syria in the ongoing negotiations and regional settlements, it would be very difficult, I think, to come to any settlements.
La menace nucléaire iranienne pose un sérieux problème dans la région. Et si la Fondation allemande est un fervent opposant aux objectifs de Téhéran, toujours est-il qu'elle s'oppose à toute action militaire en Iran.
I think the position of the Western countries regarding Iran is very clear, that they will not accept, and they're very worried and annoyed about the prospect of a nuclear Iran. And at the moment, I think it's not the question whether this is to be prevented. It's just the question of whether how you do it. And I must say that the military option for European progressive people, liberal people, is not an option. I mean, we have seen what has happened in Iraq with the incredible disaster going on there. There must be alternatives to a military operation against Iran. As soon this would be one of the challenges of the international community to come closer in this regard, and I think there's a lot of community of interest there, and it's just a matter of diplomacy to get these people to one table to have a close front against what I said would be a threat if you have a nuclearized Iran.
Commentant les récents événements en Turquie, notre interlocuteur est revenu sur une improbable entrée d'Ankara dans l'Union européenne.
Turkey is an example, I think a clear example that Islamic policy doesn't necessarily have to be undemocratic policies. I just came back from Turkey and I found out that for many liberals, the AK party, the so-called Islamist party, is more liberal than other secularists. So, and many liberals are thinking this. So I think this is a clear message also to those who always say all Islamists are potential terrorists. Now, whether Turkey should join the European Union is the question which is basically dividing Europe. There are many Europeans who have problems with that. There are others who say this is a very important strategic point. I think it would make much sense in opening the door to Turkey as long as Turkey generally becomes a European country. Now, the European country is not cultural. It's not the color of your skin or the religion you have, or this is not what I'm talking about. But as European, and I'm a proud European, and if I say I'm a proud European, I'm proud of democracy, human rights, pluralism, the market economy, the sophistication and the civilization of our politics. If Turkey is indeed at this stage, then why should we close the door? But I don't have to tell you that Turkey is still a long way away from that. And therefore, it would be premature now to say that Turkey is at this moment ripe for the European Union.
Pour Meinardus, la résolution du conflit israélo-palestinien est la clé pour le règlement des conflits de seconde zone dans la région et dans le monde. Explication.
The solution of these issues here is crucial, of a strategic importance. I mean, this is commonsensical, but I have really understood this. Too many things are related to this. Too many people outside of this small part of the world are looking here and making their politics dependent on what is happening here. So it would be a big help for all the issues we have, ranging from all the way from Morocco to Syria and maybe even Turkey, if these issues could be settled. And then you could start slowly solving other issues. The problem is that as long as you have the Palestinian issue unsolved, it will be very difficult for moderately oriented politicians in the Arab world to gain any credibility.